This is a 2025 Indian Sport Chief RT, the same bike that I reviewed about 3 or 4 months ago, but now it finally has some software updates and some performance upgrades. Let's check it out. Before we go any further, big shout out to Zaco Sports Center in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. They have been a long-time supporter of this channel, so I want to say thank you for allowing me use of their motorcycle, use of their facility as usual. They're an Indian motorcycle, Honda, Yamaha, Royal Enfield, and CF Moto dealer in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. If you're in the area, check out their selection of great new and used product and a nice selection of helmets and other riding accessories. So support those who support me. On to the review. All right, so this bike has been kind of a weird one in my journey of looking at any motorcycles. I kind of love it and hated it at the same time when I reviewed it last. And my hate really basically came from the fact that they released this new cool speaker system that's supposed to work really fluidly with their already existing interface that they had on the gauge cluster and the controls for your audio and all that stuff. But it didn't work at all. I tried for like 45 minutes that day trying to get this to work. It's like every time I do something with this motorcycle, I have an issue. As an example, I've recorded this video 3 different times because of microphone issues. So if you're seeing this version, you're seeing the 3rd take in this entirety of me doing this part of it. So I don't know if it's something to do with this bike or what. Now, good news is, the tech side of it has been fixed. They came out with an update about the end of July, early August, and now this all works together. The interface works properly. You turn the bike on, and about 30-40 seconds in, you hear a bloop from the speaker, and that means it is paired to the bike itself. So then you can run all your phone controls through the screen like it was intended to, and the speaker is basically just an extension of that. So finally, that's working out. All right, so this is all paired up now. This is paired up to my phone. You can see I'm running Epidemic Sound so I don't get a strike against the channel, but let's show you how this thing sounds now. This is using my lavalier mic that I'm talking through. We're gonna use this to go up. It's pretty loud sitting here. I think crank's pretty good. Pretty happy with it actually. And I'm happy with the fact that the darn thing works the way it should. So we go to gauges, you know, you still have control over everything over here. I can't really click through songs. Oh, maybe I can. I didn't think I could because I was using Epidemic Sound interface, but it is working. So all of that stuff goes right through here. And works the way it should. Now the bike shut off because I've had it on for a few minutes, but yeah, awesome. Another issue we had with this bike is shortly after that first video, we decided we wanted to make the performance of this bike a little bit more enhanced. So we added the ram air intake from Indian, we added this 2-in-1 exhaust system from S&S, and then we also added the stage 2 cam upgrades that come with the bigger throttle bodies and everything. Overall, we're expecting a 17 to 20% increase in power on this motorcycle, but lo and behold, after we did all the work, there was no tune available for the 2025s. And that was back in April, I think. And the sucky thing is that we were told back then that there won't be a tune available until probably August. Well, thankfully, finally August came. August 1st, we were able to reflash this motorcycle, so we were able to start it. While we were waiting for that to happen, the bike just sat on the other side of this, not being able to be fired up or anything. So that's why this bike has been here that long. We haven't been able to run it. I didn't want to take the cams back out of it just so we could move it. I really believed that this is the way that this bike should be set up. So now we're going to take a look at this bike with all the performance goodies and see what it's really like with all the stuff working the way it should. So My first video, besides the gripes of the tech, the other gripe that I had was the fact that the saddlebags were not a quick release, and which is it's a kind of a minor thing, but I'll tell you what, after riding the Lowrider ST, that design could easily be incorporated right here. All they have to do is come out with a little bit different mount system, so that bar can hook in just like the Harley does, and you can take those bags off, A, for changing the aesthetics of your motorcycle, and B, for a little bit easier maintenance if you're working on anything in the back. So hopefully Indian can make that upgrade in the next year or two, because I think they're missing out on something that's really kind of a handy thing. Time will tell to see if they'll do that, but that was really my only two gripes with this bike. Fix the tech, give us some quick release bags. Seating position of this thing is awesome. I always thought the 116 was a good engine, so the performance aspect of it I thought was plentiful. The suspension on this thing rides really good. Those Fox performance shocks in the back with the piggybacks, excellent. The inverted front end with the Brembo brakes up front, hey, A+. So if you want more details on this thing, go back to my prior video. I'll have that linked down in the description below. But let's get this version of this thing out and see what this guy's like. All right, we're out cruising in the new Sport Chief RT. Today has been a day of glitches and whatnot with my gear, so I'm hoping that this GoPro stuff is working right now and hoping that this microphone is working. Because of all that, I got a small memory card in this GoPro and I don't have a spare one with me, so I'm trying to get a bunch of footage done. So anyway, this will be a relatively short test ride, which sucks that we got some soccer mom cars in front of us right now. Hopefully they don't stay in front of us for long, because I want to open this puppy up with all these upgrades. But anyway, first impressions. So it's been a while since I rode this bike, and again, like I said before, I rode a Lowrider ST in between the last time I rode in this one, and my initial impression of getting on this guy is I seem to remember I actually liked my upper body position on that Lowrider ST a little bit better than this Chieftain's the Sport Chief here, the Indian Sport Chief RT. And all we'd have to do to change that is put the taller riser block on here to raise these bars, and then I'd be sitting like this and I'd be like super happy. So it's an easily fixed thing. Unfortunately, it costs a little bit extra to do, but it is remedied. So right now I feel like I'm leaning forward a little bit, and I feel like with me leaning forward and my feet being forward, it's not my favorite position to be in. I do like how my feet are forward though. I do appreciate that. But yeah, other than that, this thing here, another thing that I'm noticing this time that I don't think I mentioned the last time, there's more vibration in the bars than I remember. I don't know why that is. I'm guessing it's because of this big aluminum block just transfers that vibration to the bars more, but I don't remember that being a thing before. So I don't know, just something that I'm noticing now. The power increase here, I haven't opened it up at all yet, and I think that I'm running in standard mode right now, but it is noticeable already without even me cranking on this guy, so that's a good thing. I like the fact that I can notice that there's a little bit more the smoother power delivery and a little bit more power without actually having to get into it. So the exhaust intake and cams all working together to do that. Once we get out of this residential area, we'll open it up a little bit to see what it does. That exhaust system sounds really good too. It's a welcoming thing to have these bikes sound the way that they should, you know, the way that they look. Yeah, not bad. It's a good 2-in-1 system here. One thing I'm surprised with though is that doing these cams hasn't changed the red line or the RPM layout at all. It's still, the red line starts at 5,000 RPM here, which I'm kind of surprised, because I know these cams give it more mid-range and upper RPM power. So I would have assumed that, being this is a factory upgrade, that we might have changed our red line a little bit, but I guess that's not the way it works. So one thing that I just noticed too, as I was accelerating there a little bit more briskly, because I was trying to be cognitive of where the RPMs are, the gauge actually seemed like it was a little bit slow to read where the tack needle was. I like running this gauge cluster and this display because you have a good good tack reading, and then you have a nice big numeric readout for your mile per hour. Yeah, but that gauge is slow. Power's good. The power's pretty good, but that gauge is slow. So let's take this famous left here and open this guy up a little bit. Okay, well, you can see I tried it, I think in third gear there it was, to actually run over the red line, which it allowed me to. You know, I could feel the power start to drop off after we hit 5,000 RPM, but it does allow you to over rev it a little bit. And you know, I'm not super worried about this Thunderstroke engine. I mean, these have been extremely reliable engines for us, but compared to the 117 Harley engine that I ran in both the Street Glide and the Lowrider ST, those things are definitely, they like to rev a little bit more than this guy does. So in the Indian world, if you want an engine that revs, you're gonna have to go to a Power Plus, because this guy, it's an old school, what do they say, long stroke design, where basically they're relying on the engine's torque at lower RPMs to get the power out. So it is not a high revving thing. Maybe a set of Lloyd's 585s or larger cams would change that a little bit, that characteristic. But it's still an engine that's not designed to be a high revver. It never will, probably will be. But it's still fun. It's good stump pulling torque, and it has good mid-range power. The fueling on it, you know, this is all throttle-by-wire system, so the way it feels pretty smooth, pretty responsive, pretty predictable. By adding these cams, it just amplifies it a little bit. By adding, you know, the exhaust system, it just makes it a little bit better. A 2-into-1 exhaust is the best way to go on a V-twin engine, and that's mainly because of the scavenging effect. That's not bad. All right, I'll go back to what we were saying. The 2-in-1 exhaust system is the best thing on a V-twin because of the scavenging effect, and that's why you'll see even the stock system, even though it's a dual system, it's a 2-into-1 into 2, and you want to have that scavenging effect for the better performance. Basically, because there's a whole video from I think who's that guy? I can't think of the channel now, but something 9. He does a lot of explaining on the engineering behind it, but any performance V-twin, you're going to see a 2-into-1 system on it, and that's because of the little bit extra power it gives you because of the scavenging effect. But this system also sounds very good. It also looks the part. So I'd say the way that this bike is packaged is you know, pretty much ideal for what this bike is. Man, these things just feel so solid. Shouldn't be doing this, but We're not riding a Janus, so I'm not worried about a bunch of tank slap, you know. So if you guys know what I'm referencing there, Doodle, she got injured in a wreck a few months back on a Janus motorcycle. I actually planned on doing a Janus video, which might actually still happen, but after seeing that, it really makes me wonder about that front end design and what that bike is like to ride. I have access to one. I can get one, and my thought was to compare it to that Naxian electric bike that I have, since they're so comparably priced, and they're doing similar things, just on one end of the spectrum. One's very futuristic, one's very old school. They're priced very similarly, and ultimate power output is not too far off from each other. But anyways, let me know what you think. Would you like to see a Janus video? Halcyon 250 to be exact, especially compared to that electric bike I got. Let me know what you guys think. But this thing's fun. This so 5,500, it cuts it out, but it accelerates good. Fun bike. Of course, it handles really well. That is no secret. I've known that from the original Sport Chief. It's a fun bike in the corners. It has decent ground clearance, so you can actually carve some corners. But raise the handlebar position on this bike, and we really got something that is cool, you know, and it's comfortable. And right now, it's already making pretty good power, reliable power, still under warranty, you know. So yeah, let's get back to the shop real quick and give you some final thoughts. All right, so there it is, the 2025 Indian Sport Chief RT, finally up to where it should be as far as having some of the tech stuff worked out, those little quirks, but also now we can make it what we want to make it by doing the cam kits and the stage kits that have been offered to us all year. Now we can finally use them. And this bike, with that stuff done to it, rocks. This thing sounds good. That 2-in-1 SNS system works on pretty much any Chief. So if you're in the market, if you already have a Chief and you're looking for an exhaust system, this guy's pretty good. The intake and all that stuff, I think, fit the look of this bike, and the way it performs now is it's a lot of fun. It's a really fun kind of a muscle cruiser type of thing. So check one of these guys out. So that being said, thank you guys for checking the video out. Hopefully you got something out of this. I really appreciate you watching all the way through the end. I'm going to address an elephant in the room for most of you that are, or hopefully some of you that are still here. But yeah, I've taken a few weeks off. There's been some things going on at home that have really slowed me down, and I appreciate you guys coming back to watch this. So I plan on trying to get more of this stuff out quick before my riding season up here is over. I know the reviews are what a lot of people want to see, so I'm going to try to crank out as many as I can. There's some rehashes I'm going to do from bikes that I've already looked at earlier in the year, because there's some long-term stuff I want to update on. But then there's also going to be some more personal bike stuff reviewed, and some other things thrown into the mix. So stay tuned for all of that. I'm also trying to collect a bunch of footage to keep me going in the off season, because once winter hits, I'm pretty much done with this. You might see some more four-wheel content at that point in time. But I'm also trying to get some footage so I can do some destination type stuff during the off season. So that way, if you're ever visiting the area, you got some good ideas on where you could ride some fun roads and stuff like that. But anyway, one last thing, I'm considering the membership deal. Now, before I go any further with that, I want to make it known that I am fully aware with the lack of consistency right now, it doesn't make sense for memberships. And in order for there to be a membership thing, I have to offer something that makes it appealing to you guys. And I don't know whether that is like some giveaway stuff every month, or just having some extra content. I don't know if you guys really even care that much. So if you're interested in maybe a membership thing, let me know below. Let me know what you'd want to see that goes along with that, whether that be, again, like a monthly giveaway type of deal, whether that be just extra content, some behind the scenes type stuff, whatever it may be. Let me know. So I appreciate any feedback, any and all feedback really. So let's close it out with this. Don't forget to enjoy the ride. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. I think that Lowrider ST is a great motorcycle, and I think it's a lot of fun, but this is the way I'm gonna go, you know, the Deadpool version here. You know, cue the fucking montage, baby. No, I'm kidding. You can probably really tell that this one was completely unscripted, especially after me recording it 3 frickin' times in a row, finally getting the mics to work. Gotta love YouTube stuff.